everybody. It's Mrs. Martirano. I have a book to share with you this evening, and I also have my first grader. Can you say hi?
Hi.
This is Olivia, and so she's going to listen to the story with us. This is a book called Santa's Christmas Journey by Roger Brooke. And I read this to my class, and I asked my boys and girls, do you think this is one that I should share with the whole school? And all of them agreed, yes, definitely. So I'm going to read this one to you this evening. Right, Olivia?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So this is Santa's Christmas Journey by Roger Brooke. This is the story of how once a year I fly around the world with my 7 reindeer and bring to each child in each house in each land a wrapped Christmas present delivered by hand. Of course there are secrets that I cannot tell, like that specially marvelous magical spell that I cast when I order my reindeer to fly several hundreds of miles in the blink of an eye. Or the trick that I use when I make myself thin if a chimney's so small it's too tight to get in. And another if there's no chimney at all, when I squeeze through a keyhole and into a hall. And I can't tell you how I get zillions of toys for millions and millions of good girls and boys on just one little sleigh, but I'll tell you this much. As I load on each present, I squeeze it a touch, which makes it shrink to the size of a pea, so small that it's not always easy to see. And of course, as I pull each one out of the sack, with my next bit of magic, the right size comes back. My boys and girls like that part.
Me too.
Yeah, because he puts all the presents so they're itty bitty and then they come back to the right size, right?
They like squishing.
Yeah, the size of a pea, it said.
Oh, that's cool.
By the way, I expect you have probably guessed that of all of my magic, the trick that's the best is the way that I know just where all of you live and exactly what each of you wants me to give. My magic address book knows just where you are, and it knows if you wish for a doll or a car. It remembers your brothers and sisters as well, though just how that works, I'm afraid I won't tell. Well, last year there were so many presents to bring, and one of the bells on our sleigh wouldn't ring, that we left the North Pole rather flustered and late, and we're still over Finland at 8:15. You can see the elves there too. Did you notice the elves in the picture?
They have the presents.
They were helping out Santa Claus, huh? Then Sweden and Norway and Denmark were slow, with their mountains and fjords and forests and snow. At 9 over Holland, it started to rain. It was pouring in France. There were hailstorms in Spain. And although I had hoped to leave Europe by 7, we didn't reach England till nearly 11. We flew up the Thames, coming in from the west, checked the time by Big Ben, that's a clock I like best. Then straight to my work into each London house, through apartments, hotels, keeping quiet as a mouse. Very soon I had finished, then off to the coast, through the cottage and farmhouse with my Christmas post, through the Midlands to Scotland, from Cornwall to Crewe, into cities and villages, hospitals too. I like that picture. Yeah. After Ireland, we soon reached the Rock of Gibraltar. The following wind blew us swiftly to Malta, over Africa's jungles for thousands of miles, past sleeping giraffes, rhinos, lions, crocodiles. By the time we hit Cape Town, the night air was hot. Did I need my fur coat? Why, most certainly not. All the animals. Then across the Atlantic to raging Cape Horn and over the Andes at 2 in the morn, I knew that the children asleep in Brazil would have left me hot coffee to keep out the chill. As we passed Puerto Rico, I reached in my sack to give my good reindeer their halfway round snack, while I ate mince pie, Christmas cake, and some dates to build up my strength for the United States. Guess who lives in the United States?
Maddie.
Oh, well, your friend Maddie, but us too. We all live in the United States. That's our country. For that is a country which takes the most work, especially the skyscrapers up in New York. All those thousands of stairs to be climbed up and down, delivering Christmas gifts all over town. To the children who sleep on the very top floors, as well as those who live down near the doors. When we flew up to Maine, there was thick snow and frost, and a sack full of toys very nearly got lost. When it fell off the sleigh as we hit bumpy ground, coming in through a blizzard on Long Island Sound. Next in Canada, I had a bit of a fall when we bounced through the high winds as we neared Montreal. But at 3, the moon rose in the east, which was lucky, for it lit our way over the hills of Kentucky, past Kansas, Detroit, and South Bend, Indiana, through Nebraska and Nevada, and on to Montana. All America's children were given their toys, all those millions of girls and those millions of boys. When at last we had finished, I waved them goodbye, including one smart little girl in Hawaii who had been rather naughty and not gone to sleep and had opened one eye as I started to creep to her stocking. Now peeping is just not allowed, so I, with one magic word spoken not very loud, I sent her to sleep, making sure it would seem that her seeing me there had been just a nice dream. Onward we raced. Now our speed was terrific. In 25 seconds we crossed the Pacific to New Zealand, New Guinea, the Isle of Fiji, then down to Australia at 4:33. Out there Christmas comes in the summer, so we parked our sleigh on the beach and cooled off in the sea. Next off to the north through Hong Kong and Japan, then back across India and Afghanistan. Now at last my brave reindeer were tired and worn as we flew up Arabia into the dawn. Beneath us the Holy Land peacefully lay, much the same as it had on the first Christmas day. There was just one more thing that I knew I must do. It wouldn't take more than a minute or two. As I shook out my sack in Jerusalem Square, 50 toys tumbled out that should not have been there. They were the ones I had missed in the rush and the hurry, but I'd known this would happen, so I didn't worry. With the last of my tricks, I had soon put it right. Each was sent to his stocking in magical flight. So any of the toys that were accidentally left behind, he sends to where they're supposed to be.
Wait, so he mailed them?
Well, he didn't mail them. He had a magic word, and magic sent them to where they were supposed to be. Yeah. So that is what happens on each Christmas Eve when we fly around the world, and I know you'll believe that when I and my reindeer can finally rest, the thing which is nicest and pleases us best is to think of the millions of warm, happy faces, opening thousands of presents in millions of places, and to know that again at the end of this year, we have brought to each one of you our Christmas cheer. My boys and girls love this picture too. Look at Santa Claus in that picture.
I like the kitty.
Yeah, the kitty cat, and he's soaking his tired Santa Claus feet, huh? All right, boys and girls, well, I hope you enjoy my book, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful Christmas break, and we'll see you in January. Bye.